Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. InsyaAllah today we'll be entering chapter 3.3 heat engine and the Carnot cycle. Okay, in this chapter we'll be looking at heat engine efficiency, reversible and irreversible process, and lastly we'll be looking at Carnot cycle. Okay, alright. Mari kita refresh balik what is heat engine. Okay, heat engine. This is an example of heat engine that we'll be looking at before, the class before. So heat engine dia ada 4 main component lah, which is boiler, we have turbine, condenser, pump. Okay, in the boiler, tujuan boiler dia apa? Tujuan dia adalah untuk receive heat. Okay, receive heat. Heat daripada mana? Daripada high temperature reservoir. Okay, high temperature reservoir ni temperature dia kena high lah, TH. TH ni for temperature high. Okay, dia akan produce, reservoir ni akan produce QH. QH itu heat lah, heat high. Okay, kepada boiler. Okay, boiler. Bila dia bagi heat pada boiler, fluid di dalam heat engine ni, dalam heat engine ni ada fluid. So, fluid heat engine akan dialihkan kepada turbine. Okay, di turbine dia akan produce work. Okay, produce work yang dihasilkan adalah W net out. Okay, from the turbine we will be entering condenser. Okay, condenser. Okay, the purpose of condenser is to cool down the fluid lah. Okay, to cool down the fluid. Kemana nak cool down tu? Cool down kepada low temperature reservoir at TL. TL is stand for T low. Okay, dia akan produce dekat condenser ni QL. QL is heat low lah, heat low. Okay, reservoir, low temperature reservoir ni biasanya adalah atmosphere lah, sebab mudah dan jimat lah. Okay, and then after entering the condenser, the fluid will enter the pump. Okay, from pump dia akan masuk balik kepada boiler and then repeat proses yang sama. Okay, berulang kali lah. Okay, bila kita besarkan balik gambar ni, kita akan nampak figure macam ni, which is kita ada boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. Okay, pada turbine kita produce work out. Pada pump kita terima work in. Okay, you must remember that for a heat engine, the cycle, from boiler, turbine to condenser to pump to boiler must always clockwise. Okay, moving clockwise. Okay, dia bergerak arah jam. Okay, jangan lawan jam, arah jam. Okay, so below case, make sure below case dia bergerak arah jam. Okay, now we'll be looking at energy conversion efficiency. Okay, apa itu energy conversion efficiency? Adalah merujuk kepada thermal efficiency ataupun N yang panjang TH. Okay, thermal TH ni thermal. Okay, thermal efficiency and TH. TH stand for thermal. Okay, apa itu thermal efficiency? It adalah the index of performance of heat engine. Macam mana kita nak menilai performance heat engine. Okay, defined by the ratio of the net work output, the result is desired to the result is desired to the heat input, the cost to obtain the desired result. Okay, and ni macam mana kita nak kira dia? Adalah desired result. Apa yang kita nak daripada heat engine tu bahagikan dengan required input. Okay, what we want, desired result. What we give, require input. Okay, apa yang kita nak daripada heat engine? Kita nak W net out. Itu lah, kita produce heat engine, kita nak dapatkan work daripada heat engine tu. Tujuan heat engine cuma satu, nak hasilkan kerja. Okay, hasilkan kerja. So, kita nak work. Okay, work net bila kata work net out, maksud dia work net lah. Work net, W out tolak W in, kau dapat work net. Okay, Q, kalau Q net, Q in tolak dengan Q out, kita dapat Q net. So, untuk thermal efficiency, N ni equal to W net out over Q in. So, mesti ingat bukannya Q net ni adalah Q in. Alright, so thermal efficiency biasanya is less than 100% lah. Okay, biasanya kita akan dapat lah 100%. Sebab apa? Dalam proses natural, dalam proses actual proses, kita ada losses di mana-mana, maka kita punya efficiency akan kurang daripada 100% lah. Okay, alright. So, applying to the first law of thermodynamics. So, ingat balik first law of thermodynamics, bila kita supply dengan equation ni, kita akan dapat Q net minus W net out equal to delta U. So, untuk yang ni, awak cuba ambil balik first law of thermodynamics padankan dengan heat engine, bila awak simplifikan dia, awak akan dapat yang ni, W net minus Q net minus W net equal to delta U. Tapi delta U ni dia ada cyclic. Ingat dia cyclic. Maksudnya berpusing-pusing. Satu kembali kepada dua, kembali kepada satu, balik satu dua, satu kepada dua, satu kepada dua, satu kepada dua, satu kepada dua, dua kepada satu, satu kepada dua. So bila berpusing-pusing macam tu dia ada cyclic. Bila cyclic, internal energy dia tidak berubah. Bila energy tidak berubah jadi kosong lah. So dia akan tinggal W net minus dia akan tinggal Q net minus W net equal to 0. So W net kita boleh katakan W net is equal to Q net. So Q net kita dah tengok sebelum ni, kita dah tahu Q net is Q in minus Q out. So W net is also equal to Q in minus Q out. Then if we rewrite back the equation, we will get the efficiency, thermal efficiency, and TH equal to Q in minus Q out over Q in. So simplified equation, we got 1 minus Q out over Q in. We also know that Q out is QL from the heat engine. Q out is QL, Q in is QH. So we rewrite the equation 1 minus QL minus over QL. Sorry, 1 minus QL over QH. Okay, now we're looking at a reversible process. Okay, reversible process. Okay, the reversible processes are the process which never occur, while the irreversible process is a natural process that commonly found in nature. Okay, kenapa dia kata reversible processes are the process which never occur? Because reversible process say that the process in which the system and the surrounding can be restored to initial state from the final state without producing any change in the thermal properties of the universe. Okey, apabila kita nak kembalikan secara idea, secara logiknya, kita tak boleh nak kembalikan sesuatu benda tu from final state to initial state without changing some thermodynamic properties lah. Ada change sepatutnya. Okay, so reversible process is actually ideal process lah. Okay. Okay, there are two important conditions for the reversible process to occur. One, the process should occur infinitely small time. Okay, maksud dia berlaku dalam masa yang sangat singkat. Okay, reversible process ni berlaku dalam masa yang sangat singkat. Okay, all the initial and the final state of the system should be equivalent for each other. So means that initial state must equal to final state. Okay, equilibrium must initial state must equal to final state. Okay. Process that are usually idealized as reversible process include, okay, ni ada antara proses yang kita idealize. Okay, kita mesti ingat kita ideal kan, ideal. Okay, bukan dia berlaku secara nyata tapi idealize as reversible is include as frictionless motion. Okay, frictionless movement, restraint, compression or expansion, energy transfer as heat due to the infinitesimal temperature non-infinity. Okay, antara contoh-contoh lah. Ada contoh-contoh yang lain lagi awak boleh tengok. Okay, now we will look at irreversible process. The irreversible process state that in the reversible process, the initial state of the system and surrounding cannot be restored from the final state. Okay, ini secara logik ni memang macam ni. Initial state of the system cannot be restored. Okay, memang tidak boleh kembalikan ke yang initial state of the system, surrounding cannot be restored from the final state lah. Okay. Okay, during the irreversible process, the various state of the system on the path of change from initial state to the final state are not equivalent each other. Okay, in simplified say, initial state is not the same, not equal to the final state. Okay, during the irreversible process, the entropy of the system increase decisively and cannot be reduced back to initial value. So bila berlaku irreversible process, maksud dia entropi dia sentiasa meningkat. Entropi ni adalah S. Okay, S. Kalau entropi adalah S. Enthalpy adalah H. Okay, boleh tengok balik. Alright. Okay, irreversible process. Okay, contoh irreversible process. Process that are irreversible process include water flow from high level to low level. Okay, logik lah. Water, air terjun, jatuh daripada atas ke bawah. Air terjun tak jatuh daripada bawah ke atas. Okay. Movement with friction. Okay, ni logik. Movement with friction. Setiap kali kita bergerak akan ada friction. Energy transfer as heat due to the large temperature on uniformities. Okay. Ini contoh-contoh irreversible process. So boleh tengok balik apa itu irreversible process punya contoh. Ada contoh-contoh lain lagi lah. Okay, now we'll be looking at Carnot cycle and principle and Carnot heat engine. Okay, apa itu Carnot cycle? Carnot cycle is a concept of cyclic operation. Okay, cyclic operation. Okay, the Carnot cycle they have 4 reversible process, which is 2 isothermal process and 2 adiabatic process. So ingat dia ada 4 proses, tapi 2 proses is isothermal and another 2 process is adiabatic. Okay, so apa itu proses? For example, we have here from point 1 to point 2. This is one process. From point 2 to point 3, another process. 3 to 4, another process. 4 to 1, another process. Okay, now we have 4 process. One, the line is indicate process. So 1, 4 to 1, we got line. So line here is a process. Yeah, this is an example of Carnot cycle in PV and TV diagram. If you drawing a Carnot cycle TS diagram, TS diagram, this is a TS diagram. T versus S stand for entropy. Okay, S stand for entropy. This is not V, this is S. So we also have a bell curve. Okay, we had a bell curve, and then we have two constant temperature line. We have P1 constant temperature line and P2 constant temperature line. Okay, we have here Q in, we have Q out, ataupun QH ataupun QL. We have work out and then work in. Okay, saya akan lebih dari lanjut lagi lah kemudian proses dia. And if we drawing a PV diagram, V stand for specific. Specific V, specific V is specific volume. So we have process 1 to 2, sorry 1 to 2, 3, 4. Tak nampak sikit So 1, 2, 1, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. Okay, in this 4 to 1 is one process. 1 to 2 is another process. 2 to 3 is another process. 3 to 4 is another process. Okay, we have also have QE, we have QH, and we have QL. Okay, for PV diagram, we have two constant temperature line. Okay, kalau TS diagram we have two constant pressure line. For PV diagram we have two constant temperature line. Okay, TH dan juga TL. Okay, ingat macam mana nak draw ni. Alright, so we'll be looking at Carnot cycle. Okay, kita tengok sebelum ni, Carnot cycle ni actually is the same as the heat engine. The same as the engine, very the same. Okay, we have boiler. Okay, around here is we have boiler. Okay, we have turbine for heat engine. Actually, work is produced by turbine kat sini from process 1 to 2. Okay, we have condenser. Condenser is putting we put kat sini. Okay, kat sini 2 kepada from process 2 to 3. And then we have 3 to 4. 3 to 4 kat sini work in. Work in ni so daripada pump. Okay, kat sini kita ada pump. Okay, heat engine sebenarnya adalah Carnot cycle is actually is here heat engine. Okay, so kat sini we have process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, back to 1 balik. Semua sama, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, back to 1 balik. Sama Okay, right. Okay, kita tengok sikit apa dia proses for Carnot cycle. Kita tengok sikit Process 1 to 2. Process 1 to 2 is we call it 1 to 2 kat sini yang di produce work ni. Process 1 to 2. Kat sini apa ada? Kat sini ada turbine. Okay, reversible process. Kat sini adalah reversible adiabatic expansion. Okay, kenapa expansion? Memanglah turbine dia expand. Kalau compressor dia compress. Kalau pump dia compress. Tapi kalau turbine dia expand fluid yang masuk dalam tu untuk hasilkan tenaga. Okay. Reversible process, reversible adiabatic expansion. Kena ingat kat sini adalah adiabatic. Bila dia berkata adiabatic, apa dia maksud adiabatic? Tak ada heat loss, tak ada heat loss tak ada kat sini, tak berlaku heat loss. Okay, semua energy tu terus transfer kepada work kat sini System produce work. Okay, pada proses 1, 2 sistem tu akan produce work. Okay, the working fluid temperature decrease from TH to TL. Okay, kat sini asal ada TH, dia masuk kat sini pada sini TH, kalau dia produce work dia akan ke sini so dia akan jadi kat sini TH dah. So QL kat sini. Okay, alright. Kat sini pada TH pada TL. TL H kat sini TH, kat sini TL. Okay. Okay, alright. Process 2-3 is reversible isothermal heat rejection in condenser. Okay, di antara 2 dengan 3 ni kita ada condenser. Okay, ada condenser. Kat sini dipanggil heat rejection. Okay, heat rejection. Tapi kat sini kita tahu dia line temperature ni, line kat sini. Line temperature dia constant lah, straight kan, sama. 2 dengan 3 temperature dia sama. So kat sini bermaksud temperature sama, dia jadi isothermal. So nama dia adalah, so kat sini kita panggil proses dia adalah isothermal heat rejection ataupun QL. Okay, and then process 3 to 4. Okay, 3 to 4 ni adalah reversible adiabatic compression. Kenapa compression? Kita letak kat sini compressor ataupun pump. Okay, untuk pump jalan, awak kena bagi dia kerja, bagi dia tenaga. Okay, elektrik, biasanya kita elektrik, ini tenaga elektrik lah. Ataupun kita bagi dia tenaga daripada combustion engine. Okay, banyak tenaga lagi lah. Okay, then kita bagi work in. Work in lah. Kenapa kita bagi dia kata adiabatic? Maksud dia kat sini tak ada heat loss. 3 to 4 tak ada heat loss. Okay. Okay, so the working fluid temperature increase from TL to TH. Okay, bila awak ni kita assume dia naik, temperature dia naik kat sini daripada TL kepada TH. Okay, sebenarnya dia temperature naik tu bila masuk boiler. Okay, 4 to 1, proses 4 to 1. 4 to 1 is reversible isothermal heat condition, QH. Okay, kat proses 4-1 ni dia ada boiler. Okay, boiler kita tengok dah tadi, tujuan boiler dia nak panaskan fluid dalam ni. Okay, dalam ni ada fluid ni. Okay, dalam ni ada fluid. Itu fluid apa? Saya beritahu kemudian. Okay, dalam ni ada fluid. Okay, kat sini pun sebab temperature 1 dan juga temperature 4 sama. So the same temperature. Temperature at point 1 and point 4 is the same. So kita kata dia isothermal. Isothermal. Tapi kat sini kita buat apa? Pada boiler kita bagi heat. Kita bagi heat. So heat, if giving heat, so heat addition. Heat addition, kita bagi heat. Heat dia tinggi ya. Jadi QH, high. Okay, so reversible, kita kata kat sini adalah reversible isothermal heat addition dalam boiler. Okay, alright. Biasanya fluid duduk dalam heat engine ataupun Carnot cycle ni adalah steam lah. Steam, dia proses steam. Steam, proses, jadi air balik, jadi masuk balik dalam jadi steam, jadi air balik, jadi steam. Berpusing-pusing cycle yang sama. Okay, alright. Okay, sampai kat sini saja kita punya pengenalan kepada heat engine dan juga kepada Carnot cycle. InsyaAllah pada next class saya akan pergi lebih detail sikit lagi lah. Okay, so untuk kerja rumah hari ini, awak just answer the question given in the homework section. So saya sediakan homework section pada chapter 3.3. Nanti awak tengok kat situ lah. Okay, alright. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.